All right, hello once again. This is Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College, and I've been going over this 7-part article on getting started with Entity Framework 6 database using MVC5. In the first section, we created our database and populated it with data. I didn't do it exactly the way that it was done in here because of problems that I had that I alluded to earlier. Then we created the web application and we generated the data models based on our tables. That we pretty much did the same way that it was shown in the book or in this series of articles. Next, in part 3, we generated our views. We used scaffolding to generate the controllers and to generate the views. We checked it against our database in our data to make sure it worked, and it did. Then we went in part 4 and we changed the database. We added a middle name, I should say, column, and updated the database accordingly. No problem with that. Then in part 5, we customized a view. All right, so we changed the automatically generated view to enhance the presentation. All right, made it look a little bit nicer. In other words, we had information about the student and then the student's information down below. I did a little bit of change to that. I used a couple extra bootstrap classes to make this striped and condensed. And that brings us to part 6 of 7, where we enhance the data validation. As it says, this part of the series focuses on adding data annotations to the data model to specify validation requirements and display formatting. So, data validation rules, as it says, some are automatically applied to the user input, such as when we put in the grade, if you did not put in a number for the grade, you got an error message. Well, in this tutorial, we will add data annotations to restrict the length of the values provided for the first name, last name, and middle name so that they're 50. We're also going to restrict the grade so that its values lie between 0 and 4. Now, I'm not going to lie to you here because I'm perplexed. I guess I should have looked this up, didn't. But when I bring up my project and I go into models, there's what's under my models. Account view model with a bunch of junk underneath it. Identity model. Manage view models, and Rankin model.edmx. All right. What I don't see there is what I'm supposed to be using, which is the student.cs file. So I thought, well, for some reason, something got hosed, so I would recreate it. So I right mouse clicked on here, chose add, and went in and found new item and went to model, all right, which was in here someplace. But the bottom line is it told me it already existed, which I did not understand. So if you look right here, I was able to bring it up. And I don't even remember how I did that. But the point is this. When I look in here, and I look on the project itself, and that's what I want to do, is look at, this is my project, MVC Demo2. When I double-click on here, and I double-click on models, lo and behold, there's student.cs. All right? So what I want to do is I want to bring that file up as I have it up. And it says, open the models folder. Add the following highlighted code to the class. All right, so I'm going to bop back and forth between these two. So you notice first thing we're supposed to add is this, which is the using file so that we're able to actually use annotations. So I'll put that underneath my other usings. There it is. Good. And then after the student ID, we're going to want to put string length of 50 before last name, before first name, and before middle name. So let's just, I'll just copy it once and we'll put it in. Oh, this is the controller file. Oh, Jeffrey. That's why I was going to say I couldn't find it. So let me just save that because I brought up the wrong file. But I can bring it up in here. Let's see, what do we want? I don't want to do that. I'm sorry. I want to bring it up here, and I can right mouse click on it, but I don't know of a way to bring it up in from here in Visual Studio. Okay, so I'm going to edit it with Notepad. All right, again, I'm going to bring back in that using statement. Oh, that's the string length, which is wrong. So let's fix it. So I have to bring in this using statement. All right. So there's that. Then before last name, before first name, and before middle name, all right, I have to add this string length 50. So there it is before last name. There it is before first name. And there it is before middle name. All right. So this is what we were asked to do. So then it says, then go to enrollment.cs, and we're going to add the same using statement, but we're also going to add a range for our grade. All right. And then we're supposed to build the solution, and I'm going to run through all of this stuff. The point is, and I actually think, I haven't tried it, but I think this is going to work. All right, but I'm not sure why I have to do it like this. So I'm going to save, and then I'm going to do a file open right here because I should have enrollment.cs. There it is, and again, I'm going to add that same using file. Then I'm going to go over by my grade, which is right here, and grab the other one I was supposed to put in, which was range. So I'm going to save that. Now, is it possible that this is not going to work? Of course it is. But I'm going to try it based on what they told us to do. So I'm going to now close both of these. All right. I'm going to go back and I'm going to save my project. And I'm going to go back and do a build on the solution again, see if that gave me any errors, because I basically used an outside editor to create this. And it says one build, one succeeded. Now we are going to try this in class today, and let's just see what happens at that time. Okay, so let's run this. And it's going to come up in just a minute, but what I want to show you, there it's where it's going to come up, but we're right here. So it says, build the solution, browse to a page for editing or creating a student. If you attempt to enter more than 50 characters, you should get an error message displayed. So let's try this. Let's try this for the last name. Let's try it for the first name. Let's try it for the middle name. Then we'll come in and try to add, again, a value for the grade that is greater than 4. So let's try all 4 of those scenarios. So, well, I'm wondering what is going on here. There's my list of students and my list of enrollments. Let's look. All right, there's my students. So I'm going to go in and create a new. And I'm going to put in here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 7, 8, 9, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51. Okay? And you see, we get an error message. All right, that's a good start. So let's go over to first name. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52. All right, now we get the field first name. Hopefully before it said last name. I guess I should have done a better job of looking than I did. But let's also try the middle name. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50. There's 52. And the middle name. It should be grabbing the name from right here. So that should be working out okay. We'll go back and try last name again just to double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50, 1, 2, 3, 4. First, all right, last name. So it does work. All right, so let's just go back to the list. And let's go over and go back to the home page and do our list of enrollments. All right, and let's go to edit, and let's try to edit Tony's grade here, and let's make it 4.01 and move. It must be between 0 and 4. So we can see when we look at this that the data annotations that we just put in did indeed work. I went even further than the author. I tried last name, I tried first name, and I tried middle name, and I did great. As the author says here, for a full list of data validation annotations you can apply to properties and classes, you can go here, which is the Microsoft documentation. All right, so they've got a lot of different stuff. You'll notice there's things like credit cards, all right, data types, ranges, which we already looked at, required, etc. All right, so as the author says here, this is a short little, crisp little lesson, and I'm on page 4 of 7. Adding the validation attributes directly to the model class works when you do not expect the database to change. However, if your database changes and you need to regenerate the model, you will lose all the attributes you would apply to the model class. So this approach, as it says, can be very inefficient and error-prone. To avoid this problem, you can add a metadata class that contains the attributes. When you associate the model class to the metadata class, these attributes, as it says, will be applied to the model. So the model class can be regenerated without losing all the attributes that you have specified. So we are supposed to go to the models folder, right mouse click, and add a class named metadata.cs. So go to the models class. Let's stop our run here. And if it was going here, let's stop it here as well. All right, let's right click on our models class, do add, new item. I thought there was a thing here for a model. Let's see, in the models class, add, I'm sorry, it's a class. That's why it's Monday. All right, so right mouse click, add class. And we want this to be called metadata.cs. We've worked with metadata before, meta meaning data about data. All right, so it will generate some code for us, as you can see right there. And they want us to take that code that's generated and replace it with this. The using systems are data annotations. So now notice what we have. So what we're saying is string length of 50 for last name, string length of 50 for first name, string length of 50 for middle name, and enrollment date, and a range of 0 to 4 for our grade. So I'm just going to literally grab every bit of this. And what they want us to do here is to come in here and literally get rid of the entire class as it currently stands and replace it with the information that we were told to put in. Okay? Now, as the author mentions on here, these metadata classes contain all of the validation attributes that you had previously applied to the model classes. That display attribute is used to change the value used for the text labels. To what? Well, notice before we had last name put together. So that's going to change that heading. That'll change this heading. So you can see they look a little bit nicer. We didn't have to change grade because it was just one word to begin with. Now, you must associate the models class with the metadata class. So we are supposed to add yet another class. Let's first do a save all. All right. Let's right mouse click again on models, choose add and class, and we are to call this partial classes.cs. All right, it says replace the contents replace the contents that are currently in there with the code that is shown on the bottom of page 6 and the top of page 7 in the corresponding handout. So right here. Not much. We'll come back and look at it in just a second. Okay, in fact, we'll just leave it right there. Oh, now I should have noticed that this is wrong. Okay, that's not the name of my model. My model is Rankin model. So let me go back to my student. No, controller, not there. So this is going to be wrong as well. So that's wrong and that's wrong. And I've got to remember what the heck my model is called. And I've got a Rankin model here, but I'm not sure if that's what it is or not. Well, let's do this. Let's go back to here and do a file, and let's open our student. That's it. It's MVC2 demo.models. I'm glad I checked. Copy. So that one's got to change, and that one's got to change. Let's just do a save all. All right, so let's take a look at this partial class that's in here. As you can see, there's not much code. It says, notice that each class is marked as a partial class, and each matches the name of the namespace as a class that is automatically generated. By applying the metadata attribute to the partial class, it says there, you are ensuring that the data validation attributes will be applied to the automatically generated class. So this stuff won't be lost when you need to regenerate. So again, I think we've done it, but let's save everything. So to regenerate, open the .edmx file. Once again, right-click on the design surface and choose Update Model from Database. Even though you have not changed the database, this process will regenerate the classes. In the Refresh tab, click Tables and Finish. Then we are to save the EDMX file. Again, we'll just do a Save All to apply the changes. Then it says open the students.cs file or the enrollments.cs file. So open either one. Well, I think mine might still have been open, so let me, it says it's been modified. Do you want to reload it? Yes. Notice that the data validation attributes that you put in before are no longer there. You can see that they're gone here. All right, and I'm going to close that, and I'm going to open up the enrollments just to make sure that the one for grade, it's also gone, as you can see. But if we go back and we run the program again, so let's close this, and let's run the program again, and let's make our same 4 checks that we made previously. So I'm going to iterate over, and we will check last name, first name, middle name, and grade. Let's just do it just for a little bit different. So let's go to enrollments first. We'll again go to edit. We'll go to Tony's, and we'll try to make this 4.01 move. Again, we get our same error message. That's good. Excellent start. Back to list. I don't need to save this. Let's go back to the home page, and let's go to our students. Now, we're going to do the same thing. All right, so we'll do a create new, as we've been doing. A little easier, I think, to do it that way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 7, 8, 9, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50, 1, 2, 3, 4. Same error message. The field last name. To try to make our life a little bit easier, let's try to just paste that in here. Now the field first name. Great. All right, now the middle name. And they all worked. All right, so what we've done in this lesson is we have come in and added data annotations, and we looked at two different ways of doing this. The first way was to add them directly to the classes themselves, but as we were told, that's not really the best way of doing it. So we went back and we redid it by adding that partial class. Okay, we've got one more lesson to go through. It's definitely the longest lesson out of all of them, and it's on publishing our MVC database first site to Azure. So I am going to come back. I don't know if I'm going to finish it today, but I'm going to try. So I'll be back with that particular example in just a couple minutes.